Justina Ejelonu was one of the nurses who attended Patrick Sawyer, the Liberian-American and index case of the Ebola virus disease in the country. Pregnant Justina died of the infection, but not before coming in contact with her fiancé, 32-year-old Dennis Akaga, a banking graduate who came down with the disease.
I'm a miracle, a testimony of someone who got healed from Ebola. You know, people were there before me. I don't know if you understand. People were there before me. People stayed there for like 3 weeks. People stayed there for like 1 month. But I went in there and I came out just 5 days.
Some of Dennis's friends no longer visit. A local petty trader won't sell him a toothbrush, and his barber has lost some clients. He had just got a job, but when his boss found out about his fiancée, he placed a call to Dennis.
He went to Justina's Facebook wall and checked her profile, checked her pictures, and saw my pictures there. I was like, I know this guy, this is Dennis. So he forwarded me, he said, do you know this person? Justina, I said, yeah, she's my wife. He said, okay, no problem, fine. So after that, he stopped taking my calls.
The Lagos State Governor, while hosting a team from the World Health Organization, gave assurances that the state is doing its best to contain EVD.
Because we think that the question whether a school should open on a particular day at this time is not a matter that any date should be cast in stone. It must be informed by scientific basis and risk evaluation. Given what we've experienced, we do not want a reinfection. And so the disposition to complacency is that there will be no room at all for complacency.
Also in Lagos, the senior advocate of Nigeria, Olisa Agbakoba, gives credit to the federal government and Lagos for being on top of the Ebola situation, but adds that healthcare must become better and more inclusive.
This ought to be a wake-up call. This ought to be a wake-up call that we need to introduce a very strong national healthcare system in the mold of what Obama did. If you like, call it Jonathan Care. I don't care whether he takes that glory. But we need something on ground which makes Nigeria's health delivery system world-class. The
Vice-Chancellor of the Obafemi Awolowo University, Professor Bamitale Omole, has revealed the status of a female student of the institution reported to have had secondary contact with an Ebola sufferer. Speaking to newsmen in Ile-Ife, Osun State, he made it clear that her test came out negative from the Ebola Isolation Center in Lagos.
The results of the preliminary and confirmatory test proved negative. This university has never and will never stigmatize anyone with Ebola virus disease. The
Rivers State Commissioner for Health warns that although Nigeria is recording success in the battle with Ebola, she must not rest until Liberia is also free.
No matter the successes we celebrate here, it is not yet over until the Liberia situation is over.
He reveals that an 18-month-old child who was brought in for observation is negative for Ebola disease in the first test. Indeed, things seem to be looking up with no active case of EVD, and while Nigerians can heave a sigh of relief, there remain some contacts under surveillance, and of course, our neighboring countries. Mary Alale Yusuf, Channels Television News.